I can only talk from my own perspective, but there is always uncertainty and confusion, especially when first starting a session of recording. And that seems to be because I do not feel responsible for these sounds when they become songs. I feel so unconscious, so there is quite often anxiety when I first start because I do not have a set. I have some things that are set. I have found that my guitar is often like my beat from which I riff on top of. And quite often when I start, I feel confused. When I start to do recording, my thinking mind gets more involved and gets confused and it judges things. It says, this is wrong, this is right. And at the same time, I am very aware that that is the very thing that is in the way. And quite often when I start a recording session, I have to remind myself that at the start, I have to just start anywhere. It doesn't matter where, because the beginning is very much about, for me, disconnecting from the thinking mind and loosening. Loosening where I can follow the emotions without judgment, where I can follow the sounds without judgment. And quite often when I'm starting this, sometimes I have found that that during the recording session, my mind might be judging the sound in some particular way, negatively, and it seems so out of touch with what it actually is. Just something I've learned is to not trust that thinking mind, because it doesn't know the way. It doesn't know the way to a song for me, but the thinking mind finds it very difficult to let go, because it likes to be in control. But that is something that is really important for me in songwriting, is that it is the art of letting go. I am a person who has a lot of anxiety, and so the experience of letting go is very powerful in itself, and that music allows me to do that is very powerful in itself. There's something about allowing it to sound bad. There seems to be a layer. Allow it to sound bad. Allow it to be wrong. Allow yourself to feel uncomfortable, and keep doing that and there will be little bursts through that thickness, through that layer of that is in the way. And these things we find, these songs, they will always be a mystery for me. That is something I have to accept. And for me, it is like mining for gems, some kind of mining. And I have to